So this was our first location we went to in June, and it was near a waterfall, as you can see, and it was very urban looking. I wanted to check it out because of the cool graffiti, and Sean found the location on Google Maps. And lots of people were swimming here, but we went on the waterfall side and there was nobody swimming. But what you can't tell from the video is that the spot behind me where the water is really gross and slimy and really easy to slip in, and it started to stain my tail. Also, if I moved too quickly, my beautiful crown that I had made by Mermaid and Mom would fall off my head, and I was terrified of breaking it, so I had to be really careful. And this is like my second or third shoot in this tail. I'm really loving how it photographs. It's really beautiful and really looks nice on my body shape as well. So you can see here that the light was really different in the two spots. It was really bright in one area, really shady in the other, and that was a bit tricky with the camera. And then we went across the waterfall to get some shots on the other side, and we wanted to test out our drone. The problem was is I slipped and fell in the little river trying to get across, and I broke my toe, which is something I do like every single year, and I had to climb up this big set of rocks here to get onto this little spot that you can see. So Sean was testing out our new drone, and there's drone laws here in Halifax, and this is like the only drone that you can own without a permit. So it was kind of neat, but as you can see, it's a little choppy and he's still getting the hang of it. And at this point in the photo shoot, I was really cranky because I had a broken toe and it was really difficult to move it in my fin. Also, my tape that I was using to hold my wig on basically melted because it was so stinking hot out. So my wig kept coming off and I had to keep repositioning it, and I was just really uncomfortable and cranky, and Sean had forgotten a cord accidentally for the drone and he had to go home and get it and come back, and it was just like quite the venture just to try to get some photos, but it still looked pretty cool, and it was a good chance that we had being able to practice with the drone. It just sucks because I had a gig the next day, the only gig I've had since COVID started, because it was a filming gig, and of course I broke my toe and had to swim. I've had other videos about broken toes, so I was not a happy camper at this point in the video. So now Sean is just getting the hang of the drone, and I've kind of given up at this point. I'm just like taking a break and letting him play with it. I got a lot of compliments on the pink wig. It's just like a $25 pink wig that I grabbed from Amazon. It didn't even have clips or anything in it. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it. I only wanted to get something cheap. You can see the drone there flying over. So neat. And there it is over the water. But yeah, I just wanted something cheap to see if I liked it or not before I invested in a good wig, like maybe a lace front one. But then a lot of people made me feel like maybe I should consider dyeing my hair, which is like, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. It took a really long time for me to get my hair healthy, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think the drone looks cool when it's hovering over the water like that, very sci-fi. So here's a few of the photos after we edited them for like the brightness and exposure, and I really like the way Sean captured the light. That's like one of his favorite things to do, is get the sun behind me like that, which looks really cool. And I really just love how everything photographed together. So next up is a shoot from a few weeks earlier, the last weekend of May when it turned into June. I wanted to get some promotional shots wearing a social distancing t-shirt. At this point, if you've been following my videos, I was still pregnant in this video, and on the Monday after this Saturday, we were going to be told that we were having a miscarriage, so I'm quite bloated in the picture, and I thought that that was just me being pregnant, but that was actually the symptoms of a miscarriage. So this is kind of like my last set of photos where I was really happy thinking that I was going to have a baby before all of this happened. So yeah, it's kind of looking back on it is a little tricky, but I really like that we got to use this lighthouse, and this is next to where Mimi lives, and it's a really nice warm cove. So that says this is my social distancing tee. I think we could have come up with like some funnier catchphrases, but I just thought it was a cute shirt that I got it on sale. I really like how the fluke in the fantasy fins moves like this. It's really hypnotic and it looks really cool in slow-mo. I love how iridescent the colors come across even though they're on fabric. It's hard to believe it's not silicone at times. it just really goes together well. But yeah, I was like feeling really tired during this and really warm, and I was just kind of surprised at how warm it was for us here in Nova Scotia at this time of year, that it was abnormal to be that warm at the end of May. And here I was just really happy to be with my friend. We still had to physically distance. I hadn't seen her in a long time, so we couldn't hug yet. That would come a few weeks later. So I decided to go in the water, and I apologize. This is a new camera to us, and we're still figuring out the settings in terms of exposure. So when we flip it into video, you'll find that there's a lot of overexposure going on, and we're still figuring that out. But anyway, I got in that water and it was 22 degrees Celsius, which is unheard of at that time of year, and I was so happy. But part of the pregnancy was that my hips were loosening a lot because of this chemical called relaxatin. That's literally what it's called. It was in my body at the time, so I was having trouble swimming because my hips, I couldn't do like the normal undulation. Like, it felt like they were gonna dislocate. It was a really bizarre feeling. But the water was beautiful. It's just where I was swimming is kind of murky and gross. It's pretty muddy on the bottom. So I didn't really want to go underwater. I also wear earplugs, and I didn't have them with me, and I was nervous that if I dunked under, I would get an infection. And at that time, you know, I was still thinking I was pregnant, so I was worried about protecting the baby, so I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. But it was just really nice. This was my first time in the water since September 2019. So this was May 2020, and that's very early for us, so it was pretty cool. I really liked getting in the water. The tail really, even though that water was so dark and murky, the tail really looked great. The sun was setting, so it was really low on us. Again, that's how we get that overexposure. It's pretty easy to fix in Photoshop. My video skills are not quite there for how to fix it in video, so I kind of tinkered with it, but it's just really so that you can get that behind the scenes idea of everything. Those bendy poses, I'll often take my feet out of the monofin to make it easier to do those bendy poses. But doesn't that tail look like a silicone tail? It's crazy to think that that is fabric. It kind of blows my mind. So we're going to check out some of the photos here in just a second. We'll see what you think of them all. And there's just a couple that we got that day that I liked. And here they are. So see, we can edit it in post. It's not too bad with the brightness. And that was me up on the dock before I jumped in the water. I loved it! So I'll just ask that you check us out on patreon.com/RainaMermaid if you want some resources on how to be a professional mermaid. You can also support us by using our code RAINA10, all capitals, at themertailor.com or slip-ins. And definitely just share our videos. It helps get the word out. Thanks so much, and best fishes!